It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Jamie is a leading Tampa Bay real estate agent and featured on the Wall Street Journal's list of top 100 real estate agents in the nation. Jamie invites you to list your home with him today and learn more at tampabayradio.com. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Maloney.
Good morning. Well, I am not Jamie Maloney. I am Kelly Wilson at That Business Show, where show business becomes your business. Jamie is at our annual business symposium. That is today, Friday, October 28th, 9 to 3 p.m. That is in St. Pete. I was looking for the address for it, but we can't see it right now. But make sure you join us over there. You can still catch tickets. That is at tbbo.org. And that is, again, our annual symposium. And that only happens once a year. We have Shark Tank panel experts. We have network, kind of like speed dating, but speed networking. So head over there and make sure you check that out. We also have a lot of great events coming up, a lot of exciting things happening with That Business Show and also Edge, as well as Tampa Bay business owners. So definitely check out our websites. That's at tbbo.org and also at edgebusiness.org. We have our monthly colloquium coming up that is November 2nd on Wednesday. That is from 12:15 to 1:45, and that is going to be on mutual funds and exchange-traded funds with A.J. Blackstone with Blackstone Wealth Management. So that is, again, at Grill 16 next week, 12:15 to 1:45. Tickets are available on the website. Make sure you check those out. We have limited seating available for that. So we have a great show in store for you today, so I'm happy that you joined with us. So today we have K.W. Reed in the studio with us.
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Ken.
Ken, okay. KW stands for, it's actually my initials.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm Kelly Wilson. So what, Ken Reed then?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, so Predictive Leadership Workshops and Training. So we're going to talk a little bit about him, or with Ken today. We've got a great show in store for you. So definitely want you to join us for the hour. So tell me, welcome then, Ken, to the show.
Well,
Thank you for joining us. Tell us a little bit about your leadership programs and the workshops and training that you offer.
Well, the workshops themselves have to do with the fact that I've developed over the last couple of years my own leadership model that I call the in-game leadership model. And the idea of the in-game leadership model is to create a leadership culture in a company and not just develop individual leaders, because I think everybody in their own journey to leadership, they get caught up in developing their own individual skills, which are necessary, of course, but they never look at the overall strategic picture of how to apply leadership to a business.
Right. It's not always what's best for us as individuals. It's what's best for all of us.
Exactly,
and the whole team.
Yeah.
So what are some different ways that you're able to do that then?
Well, again, I think the first thing, of course, is to get people to accept the philosophy that it is not about them, but about the organization. And the purpose of my leadership model is actually to create a leadership philosophy that people are looking at on a very, very global level, that they're applying this leadership blanket over the business, and then they're differentiating the differences between leadership, management, and supervision, for example.
So are people then coming to an establishment that you have set up, or like your office, or are you going into corporations and working with them directly?
I would go to them.
And who would be your ideal organization that you would work with?
Well, I think I always use this analogy that's kind of like religion, and everybody can get something out of it at any level.
Well, in anything, like what is a niche that you specialize in, or is there any part of that or tell me about some maybe cases that you might have had recently, or some opportunities, some different organizations that you've worked with that have really stood out.
I think that what I find is that, let me tell you how the end game works, where that came from.
End game's always good.
Exactly.
Might as well start there.
Exactly right. So the philosophy of it comes from the fact that about half of all businesses that fail specifically because of leadership issues.
I believe that.
And the rest of them fail because of market issues or economy issues or some other thing that may strike them as a crisis. So I can't do anything about the market, or I can't do anything about the economy, but I can help leaders address their problems.
How do you find out what their problems are? I mean, do you specifically look into all different types of? Because I know sometimes you don't really know. You can do a lot of you can pull different information and look at statistics. And how do you identify where their problems lie if they don't already?
Interestingly enough, the studies show what specific reasons people fail. And in fact, what I'd like to do is later on, if we can offer, I've put together a little white paper called the 10 Red Flags of Leadership.
Okay.
And that anybody who wants to can contact me and get a free copy of that. But what's happened is that people realize that, well, the studies show that there are 5 real reasons why business fails because of leadership. And so let's just start with those and address them on a global basis and then work backwards. So we know what the problems are. So let's prevent those problems.
I have found a lot too that we're putting people into positions where they may not be most effective, and that's where a personality diagnosis, in a sense, where we can find out, you know, and where their talents are, where their passions are, and where can they be best suited within the organization where they'll thrive.
Right. Well, I think there's also a problem with conflation because people use leadership, management, and supervisor as synonyms, and in my mind, they're specifically different functions. Now, you may have all 3 in your business or in your job. But, you know, let's address these things. So my point of view is if you look at supervisors are about getting things done. So it's going to be process and just double checking to make sure things happen. Where that becomes leadership issue is if there's not enough process or it's not being double checked properly, then the employees become unhappy, and that becomes a leadership problem.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes even setting up those systems and processes. I know for myself, having built an organization and now being in the 4th year and building, I am more the bring everybody together and make everything happen and seeing the bigger vision. But it's difficult for me for the operations side of things.
Absolutely.
To actually execute and manage. I don't actually feel like I'm the best manager.
Well, see, and now that's perfect because the next thing I talk about is management, and the definition there is actually dealing with resources, whether it's time, people, or money. The manager has to just be focused on the resources. Mm-hmm. And then the leader is focused on culture.
Yeah.
So now you can imagine, though, if you don't have enough resources in a business, people think, well, they don't care about me because they're not giving me the things I need to do my job, whether it's materials or training or something like this. So then because the employees become unhappy, then it's a leadership issue.
Yes, yeah, and I've actually experienced some of that. You know, it's hard. It's easier now that we are implementing systems and processes. You know, people can read now, and you see, you know, what you need to do somewhat. But prior to that, and really trying to find my way, I just wanted somebody needed to read my mind. I always say, can there just be a USB you can plug into me and download the information you need and just run with it? Unfortunately, that is not available yet today. Maybe the other guys in the studio can help us with an app for that. No, it's difficult. It's really hard because again, it's, you know, then you start to think, well, what's wrong with me? Why can't I communicate as well as I need to be? And again, it's sometimes our genetic makeup. It's our personality traits. You know, we all have our strengths and weaknesses.
My point of view is that leadership can be taught, and it's starting off with good definitions. There was a great article I read a couple of years back, and a young woman went to a conference of CEOs, and she got 30 different definitions of leadership from 30 different people. So how do you focus on leadership if nobody can give the same definition every time?
But, you know, and with anything that you talk about in life, anything, everyone has, every question that you ask someone is that they're going to have a different answer.
Exactly.
Most definitely, unless they're going to read you a definition, you know, from the dictionary, then it's going to be the same. But I often ask, you know, definitions of success. I mean, or even you can ask, even in business, when you look for mentors, for support and guidance, a lot of times, every time you ask the same specific question, you are going to get multiple answers, all based on their opinions from their experiences.
Well, that's why, again, I have my own leadership model so I can make my own definition.
Right.
So I always give the analogy about a shoelace. Do you know what the tip of a shoelace is called?
I do not.
It's called an aglet.
Okay.
So if we can define specific terms for a shoelace, we need to have specific terms for leadership, because it's even more complex, of course.
Right.
And that's why I define the leadership, management, and supervision.
What would your definition of leadership be then?
Well, I call leadership, again, it's for the purpose of my model, I call leadership a social confluence of the relationship between the leader and a follower. And then the follower has to actually give the authority to the leader, but then the leader has to voluntarily accept that authority and then work with it. So you probably had the experience of having absent leaders who are in leadership positions, but they do nothing to help the employees, or nobody can get guidance, and so everybody does the best they can because they're getting paid to, but there's no specific leadership in place, and it's not proactive.
Right, I can see, and sometimes they can be so caught up in their in their own, I guess, duties for the day and what they need to do. But then if the staff and really what is helping your business grow, if they don't have the tools and support they need, it's not going to work.
That would be a management issue,
right?
Right, and then if we know where to approach these things, if we know what the specific definition is for each function.
So what would the definition of management be then?
Well, again, the managers are related to resources, making sure the resources are there and managed in a way that helps the business.
So do you help implement the processes and systems as well?
Well, I find that typically it's the most complicated part is getting everybody on board with the philosophy of it. And if you are in a large business and you have a bad leader and people accept that, you get rot going from that person down because everybody's in a little bit of a toxic environment. So it has to always be at the very, very highest level within the organization. And the danger in a small company is that you don't have many people. And if you have somebody who is affecting your business in a way, it's a high percentage of your personnel. If I'm in a large business and I have one guy doing a bad job, then maybe it's a single digits percentage. But in a small business, it's very, very critical to have good leadership skills and understanding of the people. What have you seen to be like? Do you walk into offices or organizations sometimes and where they're identifying their problem to be one thing, and then where once you've spent some time with the organization, you realize either that's not the problem or they have many others? Absolutely. I mean, unfortunately, and it's been the case where people have hired me to come in and look at a process, but they were actually the problem. And it's hard then to tell the person who hired you.
Yeah, how do you relate? How do you do that?
Well,
what do you then do?
At that point, then it's a training issue for me, and then I start talking about this philosophy of leadership and how it goes, and then I try to work a personal assessment in with them to help them understand that they can't act in an entitled way to the rest of the employees.
But then they have to also be ready to change.
Yeah.
I think some personality types, especially being a business owner perhaps and being in a leadership role, how do you that must be difficult trying to convince someone that they have to change.
Well, I think one of the things about people is they want to go into a leadership role not often for the benefit of the company, which is what you want to have. It has to be, again, that ethical benefit to the organization. But a lot of people will go into a leadership role because they want control. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean that in a Machiavellian way, but they just want control of their own future. And so they want to be their own boss. They want to do things their own way, which is very, very fair. Again, a lot of entrepreneurs are like this. Small business owners are like this. But the idea then is they have to make sure they're doing things that's good for the organization. And then there's that conflation of personality that because I own it, I am the organization.
Right. Well, I would think as small business owners, we want our businesses to succeed.
Absolutely.
So we are going to do whatever it takes. And if you tell me I have to change and adapt to a better way of working with the team or the staff or whatever I need to do to make the business succeed, I would do it.
Sure. Well, let me just go over some of the red flag things.
We're going to take a quick break.
Great.
We'll come right back with Ken Reed, and we're talking about predictive leadership workshop training. You can reach Ken at endgameleadership.com, and you can reach Ken directly by email at ken@endgameleadership.com. So we'll be right back.
In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank, and that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
Teresa Turner is a certified public accountant and the founder of Tax Happens, a boutique-style CPA firm providing small businesses and individuals with hands-on, personalized tax and accounting services. Although we would love to tell you how happy their clients are, we would like you to see for yourself. Tax Happens has 21 Google reviews and a 4.8-star Google rating, 17 Yelp reviews, and a 5-star Yelp rating, 38 Facebook reviews, and a 4.9-star Facebook rating. What sets Tax Happens apart is number 1, upfront pricing, 2, clear deadlines, 3, personally available year-round, and number 4, a willingness to empower clients to do as much or as little as they desire. Visit taxhappens.com for more information.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www.alphacomputing.com.
What's up, business rock stars? Are you ready to bring out the CEO in you? Join Julianne Nichols, CEO of Focus on You Strategy, every other Friday on That Business Show. She'll be talking with other chief entrepreneurial officers about how they grew their businesses. Remember, you could join the conversation at Focus on You Strategies Focus Fridays Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Focus Fridays. That's facebook.com/groups/Focus Fridays. Be the CEO of you.
I knew Mom wanted to stay at home. It's the center of her family, her life. But helping Mom stay in her home while managing mine was just too much. Honestly, it wasn't just about me. Mom didn't want me to be her caretaker. She wanted me to be her daughter. I felt so alone until I found out about Home Instead Senior Care. When we met the people at Home Instead, we just knew they were different. The experience was personal. And most importantly, for Mom and me, I get to be her daughter again.
Home Instead Senior Care. To us, it's personal.
How many times have you said to yourself, I wish there was an app for that? Stop wishing and start making the world better. Turn your brilliant idea into a profitable business by using Popcorn Apps. Their affordable app design will help get your blue sky idea or proven business to the next level at a fraction of the cost of other developers. They will help you get through all the steps needed to make your thoughts become live. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today.
Expect delays on southbound US 19 between Sunset Point and Gulf to Bay. Also eastbound Courtney Campbell Causeway, a bit slow approaching the big bridge due to a crash off to the right-hand side. Heavy traffic on westbound I-4 from the Plant City area over towards McIntosh. Crash in the median just before that intersection. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Eudora Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Compassion International. There is a little boy or girl living in poverty right now. They don't have enough to eat, are sick, and can't go to school. And you can release them from that poverty when you become a sponsor with Compassion International. Find out how at compassion.com/radio.
Partly cloudy and breezy today with a high 85. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low 69. And tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds and warmer with a high 86.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Good morning. Happy Friday. I am not Jamie Maloney. It's Kelly Wilson this morning with That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly. Jamie is at our annual business symposium over in St. Pete. And tickets, just head over there. You can get them at the door. They definitely will welcome you with open arms. It's $59 tickets. That runs today from 9 to 3 p.m. If you're a business owner in the community, you definitely do not want to miss this event. It's not too late. It's only $8.25. You can still make it. So head on over there. It's at the Hilton Hotel, 950 Lake Carolyn Drive, St. Pete. So head over there now. More information is on our website at tvbo.org. Great afternoon with tons of business owners and relationship building. Great time. So we have in the studio with us this morning Ken Reed with Predictive Leadership Workshop and Training. When at our 8:30 hour, we're going to have two wonderful gentlemen in, Jonathan and Pat with Pick My Kid, a great app that's new, so we'll be talking with them. But wanted to finish up with Ken Reed in regards to leadership workshops and training. And before we went to break, we talked a little bit about like the 10 red flags and the 5 of reasons why most businesses fail. And so let's talk a little bit about that.
Sure.
And how we can maybe some tips we can give others so that they don't fail.
Right. Well, I think one of the things that's always bothered me is that if you, for example, had to pick top critical business functions that you had to have, what would you think would be? What would you think of?
Now ask me that one more time.
What would be critical functions for your business, like marketing and sales and?
Well, the staff is,
Right.
you know, when I look
so
at
human capital will be a strategic thing for you to worry about, and perhaps also financing, things like this.
absolutely, marketing is, you know, you can have like even our events. You can have great events, but if they're not getting out there and there's no outlet for anyone to know about our events, the events are somewhat meaningless.
Exactly. And then what you also see in the academic literature is how important leadership and culture is. But people will have a senior vice president of marketing, of sales, of finance, but they don't have a senior vice president of leadership. It's usually left up to the HR director. And the shame of that is the HR director has zero power in the organization to enforce anything, but they're in charge of leadership training and culture building. And my point of view there is that if you are going to be the CEO and you think culture is important, either you have to assume that role, which is actually, in my opinion, what you should do, or you have to make sure there's somebody with the authority, not just the responsibility. HR has the responsibility, but no authority over anybody,
Right.
than to take over this role and make it part of the business culture.
Well, I'd like to think that businesses are taking a more, you know, empathic approach, you know, to leadership. You know, we have to set up a culture where those people thrive and they feel like they are needed and, you know, I won't go and loved in a sense. Like I always think, like, you know, if you have a family environment and everyone feels like they have the support and the encouragement, that they would excel even further than maybe expected.
And I agree, but it has to be structured, and it has to be driven from the CEO down. And then I also suggest that the only people above the CEO, depending on the business structure, is maybe the board of directors. And then they have to insist that the CEO take on this responsibility and have this same strategic philosophy for leadership.
Well, what if you have this where they're not connected, where you had like a CEO and then you have the management, and you have HR, and you have all these teams, but you do kind of have the structure, but yet it's not supported by one chain down to the next.
Well, again, that's the CEO's responsibility. It's a leadership thing, you know. And again, leadership is about culture building.
So everything kind of leads back up to the CEO. Like,
I'm afraid that's the case. Yeah, that's why they get the big bucks. You know,
Right.
It's not just the fact that they're there and they've been elected or they put the most money down. They have that responsibility to the employees, and that becomes again, culture building focuses on that ethical side of the business in terms of how you treat the employees. So the next red flag that I have is actually toxic bosses. You know, I have been in businesses where they accept an abusive relationship between one of the supervisors or leaders at a senior level and the rest of the employees, and then they excuse this behavior. And then the excuse becomes, well, they get results.
Yeah,
Well,
but that's not.
They're short-term
Help.
results.
Right.
They may hit sales figures. They may hit whatever their quarterly earnings are going to be, whatever that metric is to be. But on the other side of the business, you're going to have high employee turnover. You're going to have a culture where people eventually don't lean forward and care. And then because the employees don't care, there's a crisis, they'll all leave. They're not going to hang
It's
around.
not a very stable environment.
Exactly.
Well, we've got just about a minute left. Give us your website address again and how to best contact you, and
Sure.
how can we have you assist us with our leadership workshops and training.
Well, first off, I'm happy to send this white paper about the
Okay.
10 red flags.
Okay.
And so they can contact me at ken@ingameleadership.com, and that's all one word.
I like that end game. Like, you're not going to need this. There's no one else after this. Is it? We'll take you all the way to the end.
That's
I like
right.
it. I like
and
it.
then the website, of course, is endgameleadership.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ken, for being on the show today.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you. Have a wonderful Friday.
I appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Kelly Ham from Bill Meyer Ham Consulting. Did you know that one of the biggest challenges that leaders face is getting their employees to be engaged, motivated, and producing amazing business results? At Bill Meyer Ham Consulting, we'll help you transform your workforce culture from one that might be underperforming, maybe mediocre, to achieving amazing business results. You see, we realize that your workforce culture is equally as important as your business plan and your business strategy. The two must be aligned in order for you to reach your desired business and financial goals.
Carol,
hey, Jim.
I just got this plan that could really help with our process here.
Okay, why don't you just have a seat and let's go over it.
Let us help you transform your workforce culture by leveraging your most important assets, your people. I want to know what's going on in your organization. Let us help you transform your workforce culture. Let's have a conversation.
I feel guilty that I can't always be there when Mom feels stuck at home. She was always there for us. But now she can't get out, and I'm not always available to take her places. Someone else needs to help her get around. Then I learned about Home Instead. Now Mom can do what she enjoys because her personal caregiver is there, and I can just be a daughter again.
Are you struggling to care for your loved one? We can help. Home Instead Senior Care. To us, it's personal.
On I-4 between the Selma Connector and downtown Tampa. Slow traffic on westbound I-4 between Plant City and McIntosh. Crash in the median just before McIntosh. And a crash with some delays on eastbound Hillsborough Avenue approaching the Veterans Expressway. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Udor Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Auto America. If you have a damaged windshield and full insurance coverage, Auto Glass America can install a new one for free and buy back your old one for up to $100 on the spot. Call 813-96-GLASS. That's 813-96-GLASS. At Auto Glass America, they turn your broken glass into cold, hard cash.
1250 Winds Weather Center forecasts. Look for another mostly sunny day. A few scattered clouds. Nice breeze once again. Mid-80s for the high. Lows in the upper 60s. Forecast to start the weekend the same. We'll lose the breeze on Sunday, staying in the mid-80s. Impact Radio 1250 Winds, WHNZ.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Winds WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Hey, good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly. Jamie Maloney is not with us he's not with us this morning. He's over at the business symposium that we've been discussing and talking about. Get over to St. Pete today, over to the Hilton Hotel, and join us for the business symposium from 9 to 3 today. There's still time. You can get your tickets at the door if you don't already have them. So a great day for business owners in St. Pete today. So so head on over there. But definitely looking forward to the last half of the show being a very informative one with the founders of PickMyKid.com. Pat and Jonathan are in the studio today. My kids are a little older today, but having gone through raising two children and dealing with daycare centers and just picking kids up, and I'm actually kind of happy I'm not doing that anymore. But welcome to the show, guys. Thank you for joining us, Pat and Jonathan. Thank you.
Glad to be here.
So, Pick My Kid. Tell us about Pick My Kid.
Sure. So it kind of was born out of my personal kind of problem I had. When I sold my previous business, I had a lot of time at my hands, so I was telling my wife, I'm not going to do anything for a year. So here I was sitting in front of Netflix, not moving a finger, and she comes up and she says, least you can do is go pick up your daughter from school. And
that's the least you can do, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So next thing I know, I'm sitting in this damn car lines for like 30-40 minutes every day. It was prime Netflix time for me, and I'm like, there's got to be a better way. Let's see if I can help my school to make it easier and make it simpler for them so that I can get back to whatever I was doing on my couch.
Right.
So that's how it started. And as I was kind of debating that, the final lightning bolt moment, so to speak, was one day I was driving through the car lines, paying on the phone, not really paying attention. They put this kid in my car. As I was driving away, I turned back and looked at this white kid sitting in the back of my car.
You didn't even realize it was the wrong child?
So,
okay, were you still into the Netflix show you were watching, or what? How do you do that?
So, I mean, it's jokes aside, the security is so lax, and I like to say this, which came up in our research phase. is that we use more technology and hardware to protect milk and eggs in a grocery store than what we used to, during dismissal time in our schools.
Right.
There's so much flux. There's children are in, like pouring out of schools, and there's no.
It's chaotic,
It's
typically.
chaotic,
And
yeah.
there's different systems. I've seen the number signs, and then there's different. They put them in different, lines, and then sometimes you can hold up their name.
Absolutely. And today's day and age, the tools which teachers use to manage the process are walkie-talkies, clipboards, sticky
Right.
notes, loud hailers, car tags. Come on. And
Well, and you
today
can't
we have,
expect the teachers either to know every one of the
Yeah,
children, especially
yeah.
when they're not in their own classes.
And to compound it, you think about all these custody issues. I mean, the poor teacher knows you're the mom, but they don't know what day of the week you're supposed to pick up, and all these, and the school is held liable for any mistake they do.
I was just going to say the
Yeah.
liability involved
Absolutely.
with that, too.
And we owe it to the schools and the teachers to provide them with the right tools to make the process more efficient. And we have the technology today to make it happen. And that's what we're all about,
Right.
provide them with the right tools and then make our, children safer.
We want our children to be safe, so let's show
Absolutely.
you how we can help make that
Absolutely.
transition into that.
Sure,
So then, how do you go from then having an idea in your car with the
Sure.
wrong child in the backseat to then now having the app Pick My Kid, which I've heard very great things about it. So
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you. So it started with I have no background in technology, and I knew I'm a problem solver. I build companies, but when it came to actually, when I wanted to take this up, I was looking to build a team, the right people who can actually pull it off. I had the idea, like a vague idea, but I wanted the people on the ground who've been there, done that,
Right.
created apps and created a system like this, and then that's when I met Jonathan. His background in building technology which can scale, and that's how it was like 2 years ago we caught up.
So
and
Pat calls you and says, "Jonathan, I have this great idea for Pick My Kid," and what do you say at that point? You're crazy, or did you hear him out?
It didn't quite go down exactly like that, but yeah, we met casually through an incubator locally in St. Pete, the Tech Garage.
Okay.
And I was working on a company, and Pat was working alongside me, and we just kind of clicked, and we could definitely see that he needed more help than what he was getting. So that's really how the relationship began.
And then, so at that
Yeah.
point, you start working and implementing and designing.
We built a small MVP, a minimum viable product, put it out in the schools, did some tests, and to be honest, it was a broken system. I mean, we were learning as we were testing it and getting feedback from our end users, teachers, principals. They tell us something, hey, we like this, we don't like this so much. We come back, thrash it out again, go back, give them a product. So this went on for about 6 to 8 months, almost a year. And we were kind of prototyping it and actually optimizing it. And by August of last year, we had a pretty robust product, which we said, okay, I think we have a good winner here. Let's just start making money now,
Right.
because it costs money to,
to keep going
to
back
keep going.
through that phase.
So
Yes.
at that point, we made a conscious decision to get only paid schools on board and have some skin in the game, so they actually come up and interact with the system in the right manner. That was a great decision on our part. So we got some great, fantastic schools earlier on. Berkeley Prep was one of the first schools which actually took a chance on us
Right.
when we were still earlier on. Really thank them for that.
Thankful, yeah, exactly. You're always thankful for those that join you in the beginning when you don't necessarily
Absolutely.
have all of the history to show them. So
And as a follow-up, we had Dayspring Academy, we had Hillsborough Academy of Math and Science, all local schools, great. And they had that issue, and they recognized the problem, and they wanted us to, come in and help them out. And today, so yeah, I mean, I'll talk about, where we are today, but we're thankful for those early days.
well, so what does the app do then? How does it work?
So in a simple manner, when a school comes on board, we set a geofence around the school. It's a simple way of saying that we put a 200, 300 yards virtual fence, and we create a instance for the school. And then we upload all the student data onto the system. Now every parent gets a free app, which they can download from their app store. And when a registered parent enters within the geofence, within the time window of dismissal, there's a digital handshake which happens in the back end, so the teacher can see it in their iPad exactly who's in line, what position they are in line, whom they're there to pick up, and whom they have the delegation to pick up for that day. And if he does not have the custody for the day, they of course don't show up and it's all dynamic list. And the best part is every time a child gets put in a car, gets on a bus, or actually walks home, the system automatically triggers an alert back to the parent that, hey, your little Johnny is
That
on
is
the bus and on the
great.
truck. So it gives 360-degree accountability. You know, our teachers do a lot of work. I mean, and in the end of the day at 2:30, when they're done with their main work, you put them on the streets with walkie-talkies, and they're dodging traffic in the sun and rain.
Right.
So this makes their life a little easier, and then keeps our kids safer.
Yeah, I wish you would have come up with this quite a few years ago, because that is amazing. Well, especially as a parent, you know, I know, you know, even did my husband pick him up today, or did you get him? You know, I would know already if we had the app.
Absolutely.
Now, do multiple parents in the household, like, can both parents download the app, or so that they both have them?
Both parents, nannies, grandma, grandpa, you know,
everybody can have it.
Yeah, it's free app. You know, they can download and they can get the delegations for only Mondays or only Wednesday or every fourth Friday. You can go crazy with your delegations and your schedulings, and the system takes care of it all with no problem at all in that.
So what if someone is listening today and they do not have their school, obviously is not involved with this yet? Who can they talk to, or how can they get their schools involved?
Absolutely. You know, go talk to your school administrators. For all these years, nobody did anything about it because there's no system available in the market. Right. Today, we've pioneered the whole concept. We're the only comprehensive product available in the market, and it doesn't cost much. It costs less than $20 a day for a school of 1,000, 2,000 students. It doesn't matter. So if you look at it annually, it costs about $3,000 for a school for the whole year, for making sure all the parents get their alerts and kids are safe. It's insignificant in terms of cost, but what it delivers is phenomenal in terms of value and safety for your children.
So how far are you spread into like the Tampa community? Are you trying to get into the other schools, or are you kind of making? How long has it been? I guess I'll start there. How long ago?
So August of last year we launched, right? Paid. As of today, we are in about 17 states and 3 countries. We cannot grow fast enough because the kind of inbound requests coming from parents and teachers and administrators all over the country, all over the world actually. So we've been very judicious about how we want to grow, because we want to support the schools in a very a comprehensive manner. So we're not taking more than what we can chew.
Yeah, that is great. That's great growth that you've experienced.
Absolutely.
And then how long? When was that you were in the car and had the wrong child? How long ago was that?
That was about 2.5 years ago.
Okay, so it's moved somewhat quickly.
Yeah, not quick enough. Every day I go back and I say, I haven't done enough today. That's the entrepreneur's life.
Yeah, I know it.
So yeah, I mean, so here's a cool part, right? We started to solve a single problem. That's how we got started. But what we ended up doing is we ended up solving a whole different problem of parent engagement. To put things in perspective, when we launch in any school, within 3 to 4 weeks, it's like clockwork. We have over 85 to 95% of the parents download our application, are active on our system. Now think about it for a second. In the history of K to 12, the schools have not been successful in engaging more than 30% of the parents on one platform. For the first time, we have hit upon a raw nerve which parents so deeply care about that they download and interact with the system. Now the schools are coming to us and saying, hey, Pick My Kid, can you put this on your system? Can you use this on your system? Can you put a payment gateway so you can collect the lunch money? Can you, so many other things, so many other options open up. And so now we're very cognizant of that, responsibility which comes to that kind of a platform.
So you said 30% engagement? Is that?
No. Till date,
prior to.
Prior to any app. Everybody has a Me Too app, right? Every student information grading system, everybody has an app. But if you ask about the engagement,
parent engagement,
parent engagement, 30% is I'm telling you the best case, the best app would be 30%. What we bring is 85 to 95% engagement.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And to really bring all the parents together, and you're you're uniting, the parents with the faculty, the school, and bringing everything together. So
and here is another cool part what Jonathan is actually working on. As we move forward, it may ring a bell for you that our system is getting more intelligent in the sense that we're trying to work on systems where we can pair 2 parents who go on the same route to pick up their child every day and suggest to them, hey, little Johnny, down the street, mom also goes on the same route. Do you want to carpool? And those kinds of stuff.
You can match them up. That's great. It's very good. Well, congratulations. We're going to talk a little bit more with the founders of Pick My Kid when we come back from the break. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Who doesn't have a smartphone these days? And of course, there's an app for everything. Well, almost everything. That's why the folks at Popcorn Apps started developing mobile applications. They saw people like you with genius ideas, unable to make those thoughts a reality. They develop applications for tens of thousands of dollars less than you'll find anywhere else, and will turn your idea into a reality in a matter of just a few months. Think you're not ready? Think again. They are your one-stop shop for mobile application development. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today.
At Vein 911, we will help you feel great again. Do you have restless legs, night leg cramps, or ankle swelling? Restless legs, cramping, swelling, and tired heavy legs are often symptoms of hidden vein disease. You do not have to have visible bulging veins to have the symptoms of vein disease. The vein care specialists at Vein 911 are uniquely qualified to evaluate and treat your veins. Are you unhappy with your previous vein treatment? Vein 911 succeeds where others fail. Call Vein 911 today at 855-VEIN-911. That's 855-834-6911 to book your free consultation. Vein 911. We will help you feel great again.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank, and that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Did you know the biggest challenge business leaders face today is creating an engaged and productive workforce culture? Bill Meyer Ham Consulting wants to help you solve this challenge. They will help you transform your workforce culture to produce amazing business results. Call Bill Meyer Ham Consulting at 941-201-4650 today or visit BillMeyerHam.com. That's BillMeyerHam.com. Have a conversation.
From the RP Funding Traffic Network.
Biggest delays around the area still westbound I-4 from the Plant City area over towards McIntosh. Had a crash off to the left-hand side. It has since cleared, so traffic should be picking up speed through that area. Still seeing delays on the eastbound side of the Courtney Campbell Causeway approaching the Big Bridge. Southbound US 19 also slow between Sunset Point and Gulf to Bay. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson, New York. Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Dex Imaging. When it comes to digital copiers and printers, nobody performs like Dex. Partner with an office imaging company that puts you first. Visit them at deximaging.com. That's deximaging.com.
Partly cloudy and breezy. High 85. Tonight, partly cloudy. Low 69. Tomorrow and Sunday, partly cloudy. High 86.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly. Again, Kelly Wilson filling in solo-ly. I always say solo-ly. Not sure if that's a word or not, but it is in my world. Jamie Maloney is over at the Business Symposium for the day. Again, you've got some time to get there. So check out the Business Symposium, tbbo.org for additional details. We have in the studio with us Pat and Jonathan, the founders of PickMyKid.com, a new app. Well, an app that was introduced in 2015. Right, August 2015. Wow, I'm in awe. I'm fortunate to be able to sit in this chair daily and with the magazine and different things that I have and meet such great people like yourself that can inspire and they actually, you know, we entrepreneurs, we fix problems, right? Yeah. That's exactly what you did. So tell me about, I saw a photo of you standing in front of Microsoft talking about a big business deal happening today. Yeah. So tell us, what is it like to have a big business meeting with Microsoft?
That was an awesome opportunity. So we are part of 4 companies who are picked nationally as 4 EdTech companies as a part of a EdTech Accelerator program based in New York. So we're very privileged to be picked among like 300 companies who applied for this. Now, as a part of the program, they put you on a one-on-one workshop with all the big EdTech companies out there. So as a part of that, we had a workshop with Microsoft. We had a workshop with Cengage. We're having one come up with Penn State, and all kinds of. We're going to Silicon Valley next month and doing a whole road show there. So this is really exciting.
Congratulations!
And
That's great.
Thank you. And so now the big companies they don't have a product like ours, and now we're kind of talking with. We had a couple of meetings with Microsoft and also certain ride-sharing companies, which I don't want to mention, but as to how we can work together and, because this is a niche which is underserved today, and we've kind of come up with a system to get parents involved, and that's what is exciting to all of them.
Yeah, that is. Jonathan, I know we talked a little bit earlier about you being recognized as the face of technology, which is an annual that I4 Florida High Tech Corridor, I4 magazine, business magazine out of Orlando. Annually, they pick faces of technology, and you were chosen to be featured. So congratulations for that.
Yeah, thank you. It's a great organization. They're out to promote all the high-tech corridor companies and speak to all the local CTOs and CIOs and basically just give us some coverage in the area and encourage other businesses to get involved and move down to Florida.
Move down to Florida, absolutely, where it's still warm, and I think quite a few others are chilly at this point. So how have things changed for you in the last few years as you've been working on Pick My Kid?
Oh, things have changed dramatically. Things move really quickly, and it's kind of like Amazon. At some point, you become an overnight success, but you're 20 years old. So we've been going for 3 years at this now. We're just growing our team constantly and always just hiring developers, getting salespeople going, just basically running.
And trying to make the best decisions you can for the company. And, we only know what we know at the time, and you just try to, and it's kind of like we talked about earlier in the show, making those changes and adapting quickly and just finding out what works, what doesn't, and how to continue moving forward positively.
Sure,
so I'm just amazed too at the technology that you're able to do, and now even being able to track buses and to track when a child's picked up, or even for a day, like a mother may have to work late and she sends someone else to pick up the child. There's no concern now if my child was picked up, they were.
Absolutely. And these are things, so mundane tasks every day, which we struggle to cope with today. And that's what we make it very simple. And our product touch people in a meaningful way. It's not just an application which is nice to have or cool to have, but it really does a meaningful, it's a meaningful purpose it has. And when every teacher, they're like, it's changed the way I used to have teachers come to us and say, like, I used to be nervous in the end of the day because at 2:30 when the bell rings.
I was going to say, life is tough enough as it is. If we can reduce our stress and anxiety in any amount possible, that's a wonderful thing. We can stress about other things and just hopefully knock them out altogether. But so that's what you've done. For parents, the faculty, that's something that they're not dreading now at the end of the day, or even at the beginning of the day, I'm assuming. So do you even check if someone else were to take them to school, or when the bus drops them off in the morning, they're getting a notification that, they're at school? So
especially with the buses and stuff, in today's day and age, how much is it to ask to know when my child is in the bus, or, when I can expect them in the bus stop? Our technology does that. And the moment a child gets on the bus, they get an instant notification. And then parent will have the ability, not today, but soon enough, in about 6 months, will have the ability to actually live track their student on the bus till the time they get off the bus. And we have the technology to pull that off, but there was the last mile connectivity between that technology and actually the end user who's a parent who's concerned about the kids. That connection was not available, and that's the connection we're making possible.
I'm even thinking it when there's an accident or something happens on a bus with, that could be something that could notify parents immediately, because by the time that the schools are notified and then it actually gets out to the parents, there's a delay.
You've nailed it, actually. Today, when a bus is getting delayed or an accident or a breakdown, the transportation reaches to the school scrambles, gets on the phone, and that's old school. Today, using our system, within a few seconds, a message can go to only those parents whose kids are on that bus with a timely message that, hey, it's going to be 20 minutes late or whatever be the case. So it avoids so much stress, anxiety, and makes people more productive.
I remember growing up in Indianapolis, and I think, 4th grade maybe, and there was a snowstorm.
Yeah.
We could not get out of the school. It was 8 o'clock at night, and we're still sitting in school, and they're trying. The parents couldn't get to us either. We're trying to get a bus to us, and I just remember us all running to payphones. Of course, back then, but it was just such a problem. Of course, now with technology and cell phones, it's a little bit easier, but an app obviously to let people know would be very helpful.
Absolutely.
So we have a lot to look forward to, I guess, like we'd mentioned before, even with some of the other things that you're looking forward to implement into the app. So what else is on the agenda?
So a lot of cool things in the agenda, in terms of features and making it more comprehensive. Like I told you, we are moving away from we started with solving the single problem of after-school dismissal, but since we have this high engagement, we have other features and other apps which are getting on our platform to use that engagement and give more value to the end user, which is the parent in this case. Things like digitizing every signature slips. If you remember, your children would have come home with like 10, 20 sheets of paper for your signature every week.
Or they don't come home. They're supposed to be given to us, but they're not.
So we digitize the whole thing, and it's a digital signature. Things like payment gateway. How many times you have to write a $5 or a $7 check and put it in little Johnny's backpack, hoping like hell he goes and hands it over to the teacher in time.
Right. Well, we've got just a few seconds left, but definitely wanted to thank you both for coming on the show today. They can check out more information at pickmykid.com, and we look forward to seeing what is more to come from Pick My Kid. And congratulations!
Thank you
on all of the success that you've had thus far. And it just goes to show you, if you have an idea and you think you can fix a problem, get in front of the right people, collaborate, do what you need to do, and fix it.
Find a Jonathan and get
Find a Jonathan. Well, and that just goes to show you the incubators and those types of things where people collaborate. Go and check those out. So again, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for joining us today for That Business Show, where show business becomes your business. I am Kelly Wilson signing off for the morning, but join us over at the Business Symposium. We look forward to seeing you there. I'll be heading over there soon. So have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday.